Hello folks, and welcome to this week's Hi-Fi News etc. And I have some news as per usual, and this time I have a kind of slightly left field news item which I've kind of separated from the rest at the end of this video, which I'll tell you about anon. Until then, trivia. And we're changing the subject to history. I think I'm going to hang around history for a little while. And this week's question is this: which German group took their name from a figure of the German Renaissance who inspired scores of works of fiction about a man exchanging his soul for earthly success? One more time. Which German group took their name from a figure of the German Renaissance who inspired scores of works of fiction about a man exchanging his soul for earthly success? No Googling, please, any of that research nonsense. It's just a little bit of fun, and I'd just like you to have a little think as you're watching this video. I will give you the answer at the end of this video. Until then, Hi-Fi News. Now, it's been a while since I talked about Tivoli, the radio people, but would you believe it? They are back with a rather stylish DAB plus stroke FM radio unit, spanning 41 centimeters by 16.5 by just over 22 and weighing in just below 5 kilograms. This one is described as a smart hi-fi system. They always give them these funny names, don't they? Don't mean an awful lot. However, smart hi-fi system, the music system home generation 2, which is even more convoluted to give it its full name, gives you a slice of Chromecast and AirPlay 2 built in, music from which emerges from the unit's 4-speaker design. I say 4 speakers, that means 2 3/4-inch tweeters, 8 watts I think they are, and 2 3.5 20-watt mid-bass units, powered by a 4-channel amplifier. Supporting both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connections, including Ethernet. There's an optical input as well, auxiliary input, 3.5mm output, and on the front is a circular output window which doubles as a kind of tuner for your radio. Plus, there is a power stroke source rotary button and another one of those, this time controlling settings stroke select. There's a remote control in the box as well, and 3 real wood finishes to choose from. The price is £779. Next, we're looking at NAD, which has announced the C700 version 2 Blue OS streaming amplifier. So the 80-watt C700 version 2 features an improved ESS Sabre DAC. This is over the version 1, obviously. You get a moving magnet phono input, Dolby digital decoding, Dirac Live, and an IR remote control. We have I'll give you the prices now, shall I? And I'll tell you more about this box in a moment. The first is $1,599. Same with euros, 1,599 or 1,499 pounds. Now, this box is one of those just add speakers kind of things, with the box itself including HDMI eARC, 2-way aptX HD Bluetooth, and Apple AirPlay 2. Blue OS streaming and multi-room functionality are also included. You get a 5-inch glass HD display at the front, and that shows things like album art, track progress, system settings, all that kind of thing. The NAD includes voice control and MQA support. Surprise, hey, if you've watched my previous videos anyway. Next, we have a cable. So we have the Epic Digital Tuned Array Interconnect from the Chord company. Now this is a new hand-built interconnect with the company's VEE3 plugs finished with core alloy multi-metal plating system. As for the cable itself, it's structured around two 75-ohm silver-plated oxygen-free copper conductors with PTFE insulation all around it. The Epic Digital Tuned Array is available in different formats, either RCA or BNC or AES EBU terminations. Custom lengths are available if you fancy any of those, and the price for a typical 1 meter cable is £560. Finally, our final news item comes from Monitor Audio. They've got a new pair of speakers called the Studio 89s. Now, the Studio 89s are inspired by an older studio-centric design called the Studio 15. So that's where the inspiration for these come from. The 89s, the new speakers, feature a MTM arrangement, basically mid-tweeter mid, also known, I believe, as Dappolito. So as you can see in the images here, you've got a mid-bass unit at the top, a tweeter in the middle, and another mid-bass unit underneath. Although the tweeter in this particular case is an MPD, or micro-pleated diaphragm, a high-frequency transducer sitting in between twin RDTs. That's rigid diaphragm technology. I think both of these units are Mark IIIs, incidentally. We have 4¼ inch mid-bass drivers here, while there's a third-order crossover that binds all these units together. In terms of this configuration, what you're supposed to be getting here is a small speaker with a big sound. Well, that's the idea. I have put a request in to review these things, so maybe I can prove that or not. Anyway, the twin mid-bass units are made up of 3 ultra-thin, apparently, layers. There's a C-cam outer skin, a ceramic-coated aluminium magnesium, that is. That sits over a Nomex honeycomb central core with the underside skin made up of woven carbon fiber. So the idea is to make them light, make them strong. The cabinet itself comes in 2 thicknesses. On the front baffle, that's an 18mm baffle with sidewalls spanning 15mm. You also get Hive 2 slot ports, presented in high gloss black finish, coupled with metal coloured cone drivers finished in gold. The spoke metals have also been used for each section of the dedicated Studio 89 stands, and yes, there are stands. The top plate for the stands offers a laser cut steel, the pole is extruded aluminium, and the base is die-cast aluminium. The 4 adjustable feet are supplied with both chrome-plated spikes for carpeted floors and dome rubber feet for hard floors. I have a whole range of prices, and I'm going to put them all on screen right now. What you're going to see are the prices for the speakers themselves, and in addition to that, the prices for the stands. Finally, a sort of quirky, additional news featurey story thing. This one is devoted to a vinyl storage option. This is from a company called Toneoptic, and they're based in the USA. The product itself is called the Toneoptic RPM, and it features a 90-degree rotation of the shelf itself, which enables you to riffle through your collection. And I happen to have some video. I'll play that as you're listening to my dulcet tones. Now, the shelving unit itself can be placed on a flat surface or within a shelving unit, or you can wall mount these things. What you get in the box is the RPM revolving mechanism. You get 3 side panels for your records, 2 record dividers for 7-inch, 10-inch or 12-inch discs, a bottom felt mat, backside felt protectors. You get a whole set of screws and fasteners and a manual. In terms of size, you're looking at 432 millimeters depth, 473 millimeters width, and 399 millimeters in height. With the drawer fully extended out, the unit measures around 78 centimeters and it weighs, empty, around 12 kilograms. Made from powder-coated aluminium, it's available in either matte black or gloss white. Price, well, in the UK at any rate, is £261, but you're going to have to add shipping to that, and don't forget, this is a US company. And yes, you can buy directly from their website. I'll put a link below. You can have a little look. And that, my friends, is the end of this particular video. But before I go, let me give you an answer to that trivia question. And one more time, which German group took their name from a figure of the German Renaissance who inspired scores of works of fiction about a man exchanging his soul for earthly success? And the answer is Faust. The group Faust, who formed in 1971, were named after a semi-mythological figure who was in turn based on the 15th century alchemist and magician Johann Faust. So now you know. Anyway, thank you very much for staying to the end of this particular video. Thank you again once more for all of your support. Very much appreciated. And I'll be back this time next week. Well, this time-ish next week. I'll be here next Friday at least. And I hope to have your company. Until then, folks, bye-bye for now.